but I just can't help but wonder why so many people buy it. And also, it just strikes me as painful. Like the idea of having to get an injection every month or however often you're supposed to get the hormone injections. It's just like, oh my God, why? Or like surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery. That sounds like hell to me.
This is not the worst thing that can happen.
It isn't.
There's a book to me that encapsulates my entire experience before I left the show. And the book is called Pimp. It's written by a guy named Iceberg Slim. Iceberg Slim breaks down some of the coldest capitalist concepts I've ever heard in my life. He describes in detail how these men break women so that they will give them the money that they make with their own bodies. There's a story in here so cold it makes me shudder to think about it. Well, Iceberg Slim is trying to control the woman that he finds uncontrollable. So he asks older pimp how he can rein her in. And the older pimp says, oh, that's easy, Iceberg. All you have to do is beat that bitch with a coat hanger and then run her a bath and give her some pills. She'll be so grateful that you fixed her that she'll forget you were the motherfucker that beat her in the first place. That's some cold shit. All you have to do is beat that bitch with a coat hanger.
Or, surgery, like surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery. That sounds like hell to me.
And then run her a bath and give her some pills. She'll be so grateful that you fixed her that she'll forget you were the motherfucker that beat her in the first place. That's some cold shit.
Sometimes Tyler spoke for me.
Fell down some stairs.
I fell down some stairs.
But I know that when various people who've made successful transitions talk about it, other kids they're not focused on the pain. They're focused on the fantasy of,
The illusion,
having
sure.
a cis part.
You could not do this on your own. All the ways you wish you could be, that's me. I look like you want to look, I fuck like you want to fuck.
Sold 1,000 times sold! We're never gonna score! We're never gonna score! We're never gonna score!
I fell down some stairs.
Now, ancient peoples found their clothes got cleaner when they washed them at a certain point in the river.
This is fresh. We're the guinea pigs. Jazz is a guinea pig.
Jeanette has been fully aware of the experimental nature of this dog breeding style cosmetic modification of her son since season 1, episode 1.
But there are
I
other
don't like
people.
to think of it that way.
Yeah,
I don't know why you said that. That's
Yeah,
not
for-
how
yeah,
I look
yeah.
at it.
Greg's an attorney, and he knows how that's going to sound in front of a jury.
Yeah,
Not
for-
how
yeah,
I look
yeah.
at it.
Why are they not in jail?
That breaks my heart when people bring up my mother in a negative light because she has been such a shining star in my entire life.
The morning star.
Get ready, it's about to get religious.
She is one of the most loving, caring, nurturing people out there, and she has always loved me unconditionally, loved my siblings unconditionally, loved my dad. She's amazing in so many ways. She has the hugest heart.
He's a great man.
And all she wants to do is see me be happy, to see me smile, and to see me loving myself. And she really is just a beacon of hope in our society because she's the mother of all mothers.
The
And
mother of all mothers, who said that she wakes up Jazz out of a dead sleep, puts the lube on the dilator and says, "Here, either you put this in you or I will."
That's some cold shit.
Homophobia in families is mentioned in all of the transcripts Newsnight has seen. Staff say that while there was some discussion in the service about this, they didn't feel the issue was properly addressed. We've spoken to a number of staff off the record. Most didn't want to go on camera, even on the condition of anonymity. But the transcripts are backed up by this former clinician who left GIDS last year. Their words are being voiced by an actor.
We did have a lot of families and parents who would actively tell us that, oh, I'm so glad at least my child is not gay or lesbian, implying that having a trans outcome would be better for their children.
I had a case. There was a lot of trauma in the family. The young person had come out initially as a lesbian and had faced a lot of homophobic bullying, both very subtly within the family and quite openly in school. And suddenly the young person changed their mind and they started identifying as
Cornelius, Rupert, Travis, any of the stupid names you give each night.
In some of these cases, clinicians thought that it wouldn't be appropriate for them to refer for puberty blockers, but they would be overruled by GIDS director Polly Carmichael, the transcripts suggest.
Aha, pay dirt. Richest, creamiest fat in the world. Fat of the land.
The young person had very clearly told me and my colleague that my mum wants the hormone more than I do. And when we took it to senior management, Polly Carmichael, she suggested that we refer, even though this was not clinically indicated.
The reason I'm dilating twice a day is because if I miss once, it is so painful and I feel like I'm stuck and like I have to do it, or else like I'm gonna have the worst time like the next morning, or like if I go out and I come back like at 4 a.m. I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm not gonna dilate, but then the next morning when I wake up I like dread it so much because it's so painful.
I have woken Jazz out of a dead sleep.
This is a chemical burn.
And taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, here, you take this and you put it in your vagina, if not I will. The minute she leaves my house, we have a dilation problem.
Bitch, where you at?
I'm out here getting your money.
That's what the hell I thought. Thank you, Grandma.
And the older pimp says,
that is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
Did you know that at least 75% of bitches suffer from some kind of hearing loss? This alarming statistic means that more likely than not, talking isn't the most effective way to communicate with a bitch.
I would be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up. I will wring her neck. Can you imagine?
I wanted to breathe smoke.
I don't know my dad. I mean, I know him, but...
My dad! Oh my God, hi!
So obviously he's estranged from his dad. We don't keep in great contact, so...
You have to consider the possibility that God does not like you, never wanted you. In all probability,
Mother of all mothers, and
he hates you.
When I wake up, I like dread it so much.
Who are we mistaken?
What? Can you get rid of it?
Well, that's easy, Iceberg. All you have to do.
That wasn't funny. What the fuck was the point of that?
Tomorrow will be the most beautiful day of Raymond K Hessel's life.
Yes, it was done to mark us like cattle and to emasculate us like slaves, and as an act of submission to your father. But to damage our sexuality in the most fundamental of ways for life was also a primary objective.
That's as much certainty as anyone can give me.
My dad! Oh my God, hi!
So he is in severe pain when he attempts to dilate, bleeding profusely, having reactions that cause him to, his face to sweat and him to throw up from the pain. And so he calls up the surgeon, and the surgeon goes, do it more.
What? Can you get rid of it?
Well, that's easy, Iceberg. All you have to do.
That wasn't funny. What the fuck was the point of that?
Tomorrow will be the most beautiful day of Raymond K Hessel's life.
Yes, it was done to mark us like cattle and to emasculate us like slaves, and as an act of submission to your father.
My dad! Oh my God, hi!
But to to damage our sexuality in the most fundamental of ways for life was also a primary objective.
That's as much certainty as anyone can give me.
We did have a lot of families and parents who would actively tell us that, oh, I'm so glad at least my child is not gay or lesbian, implying that having a trans outcome would be better for their children.
The young person had very clearly told me and my colleague that my mum wants the hormone more than I do. And when we took it to senior management, Polly Carmichael, she suggested that we refer, even though this was not clinically indicated.